What is up, everybody? Welcome to EOP Live. Eagles up 14-9 here at the halftime, talking top reaction takeaways. Joining me, he is Shane at Shane Half NFL. What's going on, Shane?
What's up, Dibes?
Oh man, so where do we start with this one? I think my first take here is in previous weeks, the Eagles left points on the board because of their poor red zone play. In this one, they're getting home in the red zone. However, they have two turnovers that really, I think, has arguably been the difference here. Only 14 points, yet they're moving the football. What's your general take?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. They score on this, 19-play, 91-yard opening drive. They have another touchdown drive, but it's like 50-50. They're on their drives, they either go score a touchdown or they turn the ball over around midfield. And I mean, you can't have that. I tweet out a keys to the game graphic every Sunday morning. Number one today was not to give up short fields. You're facing Zach Wilson. You're facing a bad passing attack. You cannot be giving them short fields, and the Eagles have done it twice. It's cost them 3 points. The defense has, made good on those turnovers, but it should not be a 14-9 game. The Eagles have outplayed the Jets by far more than that.
Exactly. It does not feel like a 5-point lead whatsoever. Mostly because Zach Wilson stinks. That guy's just not a good quarterback. He's missing guys, overthrows, underthrows, left and right. Really, the only thing that I see that Zach Wilson has for him is that when James Bradbury kind of gives some cushion to Garrett Wilson and he's getting some underneath throws. But this defense is holding the Jets. Look at the numbers here. Zach Wilson has 96 yards with a 64 quarterback rating. We've seen Jordan Davis get pressure. We've seen Hassan Reddick get pressure. Brandon Graham was in there. What's your take on this Eagles defense so far?
The defense has played pretty well. They've had Zach Wilson under pressure, only 2 sacks for 7 yards. Because he's elusive. He's been pressured several times. Both of his sacks, he almost got back to the line. So the pressure's affecting Zach Wilson. And now you have Garrett Wilson out with injury. I'm not sure that he came back into the game. And he's really, he's the X factor for their team. You just throw the ball up and hope he's down there somewhere. And if he's out, that's a huge blow to the Jets offense moving forward.
Yep, I'm looking at some defense. James Bradbury has been kind of the guy the Jets have targeted the most. I feel like I've seen his name come up a lot. The other guy that I've seen his name come up is Josh Jobe, who has been, picked on at least a couple of times in this one for penalties. But Nakobe Dean, we really haven't seen, at least for me, I've seen Zach Cunningham more than I've seen Nakobe Dean in the first half. Any quick take on Nakobe Dean and his return?
He almost came up with the most ridiculous interception right before halftime, like contorting his body backwards.
Yeah.
Like that video would have been famous in Philadelphia for the next decade if he would have pulled that off. He had one play where, I think it was the play that Garrett Wilson got injured on. They bracketed Wilson with Nakobe Dean over the middle. And then Nakobe Dean broke off of that when Zach Wilson started to scramble. That was a nice heads-up play to see. But, yeah, I haven't noticed a ton other than that from Nakobe Dean or from any of the linebackers, if I'm being honest.
Hassan Reddick has a sack. He was my player of the game today during pregame, mainly because Jalen Carter's not playing. Josh Jobe needs to get stopped with the stupid penalties. The 49ers lost. Absolutely, man. That was arguably the worst football game I've seen in quite some time. That was that was brutal. Let's quickly get into Jalen Hurts. Let me scroll up here. Jalen Hurts in this one, 172 yards passing, 18 of 25, with an 87.4 quarterback rating. He does have, looking for his yardage on the ground. There it is.
4 for 21.
4 for 21. And, he does have an interception, but, that really wasn't on him at all. What's your take on Jalen Hurts, and how would you grade it, A to F?
A. He's played great. I thought he should have had a beautiful touchdown strike to A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown just stopped running for – can we talk about A.J. Brown and how I love that guy and hate him at the same time every Sunday? Like, how has he played with Jalen Hurts for a year and a half, and he ever thinks there's a play where I'm not in the progression? I don't care if it's a clear out route. Jalen Hurts has shown time and time again he will throw that. I thought that he slowed up a little bit, and then the ball's just over his hands. The broadcast replayed it, and he like almost stops. That's inexcusable. But then he comes back 2 plays later and just has a fantastic run after the catch. So AJ Brown, continue to have like a love-hate relationship there. I love the guy. He drives me crazy every once in a while, but I think Hurts has played really well. Early, he was scrambling a lot under pressure. He may be under pressure a lot with a backup right guard and right tackle into the game, but 0 sacks. And that pass that he made, stiff arming the defender that's holding on to his hand. I thought he was throwing it away, and it's a completion. That's just incredible stuff.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal pass, man. His leg and core strength is outrageous. Michael says Jalen Hurts is playing well. 1 interception per Quentin. What's going on, man? Anthony says Goddard and Smith need more touches. Speaking of touches, we kind of touched on this on Birds of the Roundtable last week. We need to see more DeAndre Swift and less Kenny Gainwell in the red zone. Surprise, surprise, the Eagles are 2 for 2 in the red zone today. Kenny Gainwell hasn't even been on the football field, at least from what I've seen. So that's a nice little development there. Love to see that. AJP says, like the Hurts to Swift pass concepts with Swift lining up on the line or slot. And I like that play with Boston Scott. Do you remember that one? It was
where they motioned into a 2 backfield set. They motioned Swift in to have 2 backfields, and then they motioned AJ Brown orbit motion. I loved that. I tweeted that one out. I'm going to obsess about that play for years.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that yet. That was a really nice play. Walter's in the house, and the interception was not Jalen's fault. Absolutely agree. And if AJ Brown doesn't stutter and just keeps running his route, there could be 7 more points on the scoreboard. Anthony says the team just can't blow out anybody out. We should be up 2 to 3 scores. That's kind of the take. So let's kind of wrap it up here. Final thoughts on this one: just freaking stay healthy. The Eagles just need to get out of New York healthy. At the end of the day, like I saw Lane get hurt. Like I hate these kind of games. The Eagles need to put this one away, sit their starters any way they can, and keep everyone healthy. The brutal schedule starts next week, and seeing Lane go down, man, that gave me a nightmare. That was horrible. What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, hopefully Lane's okay. Hopefully the Eagles are able to stay healthy. I feel as comfortable as you can about this game. Would I like to be up 21-6 right now? Absolutely, but the Jets really haven't done anything on offense, and the Eagles are not like a team that turns the ball over a lot. You don't expect Dallas Goedert to drop a ball that goes for an interception. You don't expect DeAndre Swift to fumble. Like, I think those things will sort themselves out, and so I think the Eagles still roll here in the second half.
Yep, I agree. AJ says ball security, get well, Lane. Absolutely. What a clinic on how to keep a bad team hanging around. AJ says Hurts keep spitting fire. Any update on Lane? I haven't heard.
I haven't seen anything on Twitter.
Nope, I haven't heard anything yet. We'll let you know. Mark says Eagles need a legit linebacker. I backed him for 2 years. He looks like a slow corner out there. Give him time, man. Give him time. Apparently Lane isn't too bad. That's good news. Shane,
he was listed as questionable to return, so
I honestly wouldn't let him play.
Jeff McClain said no sign of Lane Johnson as the Eagles come out of the locker room at half just a few seconds ago. So
no reason to put that guy back out there. He's too important in this kind of game with that turf. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I am out on that one. All right, Shane, where can we find you, man?
Yeah, check me out on YouTube and Twitter at ShaneHalfNFL. I'm live tweeting the game, so think of me as your instant replay, like 2 minutes later, because Twitter takes forever to post videos now, but go check it out there. All
right, he is the best of the best when it comes to breaking it down. Everything Philadelphia Eagles. Check out his podcast, Chalk Talk, at ShaneHalfNFL. Guys, we'll see you at post-game when the clock hits 0, talking more top reaction takeaways. He is Shane. I'm Dibes. Go Birds. Stay awesome.